Hello, everyone. Rochelle White, Stephen, Oluwaseun, Omonike, Theophilus. Welcome, every one of you. Please go ahead and call your friends and relatives and people you care about. Today is going to be an interesting day again. Today we are continuing where we left, talking on the topic of dealing with, or how to deal with the demon-possessed people. How to deal with the demon-possessed. Yesterday we talked about what to do with demon possession. Today is what to do with the demon-possessed, or how to deal with the demon-possessed. So today is going to be talking about the individual, the people, the person himself. Yesterday was about demon possession, but today is going to be the talk about the individual, the demon possessed. How do we treat a demon possessed person, or how do we deal with a situation when someone is demon possessed? Now, that is the lowest form of satanic attack and oppression, like I said. You know, it is not the highest. The highest are principalities, powers, and if you want, you could go back to see those. That's hierarchy of Satan's kingdom. Please go ahead and share and tag your friends as you are sharing this. Let's go and share the message, and let's go and share the message and tag our friends as well. Please go ahead and tag as many people as possible. At least you all need to know how to deal with demon-possessed people. You need to know how to deal with demon possession. And what is the right attitude? What is the right behavior? How do we correctly deal with people who might be oppressed by Satan through demonic oppression? So the people who are under satanic oppression, demonic oppression, how do you deal with them? That's what we are going to. Be talking about today. And like I normally do, I will need to show you a few videos for you to see how people are being dealt with today, how demon possession is being dealt with in the church today, or how demon possessed are being treated in the churches today, so that you will see what is wrong. And then I'll come back to you to tell you what is wrong with what the people are doing and how to better or how to correctly deal with demon-possessed situations or demon-possessed people. How do you deal with the demon-possessed people or people who are under demonic attacks? So we'll start with the video. I'm going to show you the videos, and so that you see the things that are wrong with the church in Africa today and the church worldwide, especially the African church today. We need to start with that, and then after that, they will be able to deal with, we'll be able to tell you what is the right way to deal with them. So if you don't know the wrong way the people are doing it, you might not know the difference. And that's one of the reasons why I normally show these videos. I don't show these videos to humiliate anybody or to attack anybody. I'm not showing these videos because I dislike anybody or I want to call out anybody or I want to name and shame. I'm not naming or shaming anyone. And hello, Paul Loriade. I was reading a book today. I read a book today that is called 20, I think, by the way, that book, it's called 20 Leading Pentecostals or Pioneers, Pentecostal Pioneers in Nigeria by Olofin or something like that. That book, I think, is in two parts. So, because the part that I read, he only talked about 10. He only spoke about 10. I think we need to get the second part of that book, Olofin or something they call him. So I read the one today about, but why I remember is that because I saw Paul Loriade, I saw that you were there. Your name is in the book. They are thanking you for helping them to do the research on that book. So Paul, you should know the book I'm talking about and the person I'm talking about. You remember I wanted to read about Pa Elton. So that book was talking about Pa Elton, but the book is named 20 Leading Pentecostal Pioneers. Pa Elton was one of them. I was able to see that today, but that was just 10 in the first part of that book. I think he has second part of the book where he's going to I think they even put me there. I think my story is one of the ones he wants to write in the second part of the book. So, but I couldn't get to see the second part of the book. But also yesterday, you people remember we had a story with a very great testimony yesterday from Toyin. What a story she had. And today I will tell you this testimony from Toyin today. You will not believe it. And what has started happening since Toyin got back. I mean, since Toyin gave a testimony last night. Since Toyin gave a testimony, some unbelievable testimonies have started coming in. But let's go ahead and see and look into some of these deliverance sessions in Africa, so that you see how things are done wrongly, and then you'll be able to see when I begin to show you how to do things right. Please, can you start?
Get out of her. Let the ground burn you. 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 Let the ground.
So see what is happening in our country. See what is happening in our country. As if they are doing gymnastics. As if they went for gym. See what people are doing to women in our country. I mean, as if women are the only ones who are demon possessed. You see a whole church. They clear the shares. And this is deliverance in my country. This is called deliverance. What is this? Anytime you see a scenario like this, all this commotion going on, people pushing all the women around, you know, and in the name of deliverance, this is not deliverance. So don't let anybody fool you. This is not deliverance. This is more demon possession on its own. This is not deliverance. Because like I told you yesterday, if you have authority, you don't need to be pushing people down and beating them up and, you know, holding them down, making them roll on the ground like this. This is not the way to treat human beings. You don't treat women or human beings like this publicly. I mean, these are some people's wives. These are some people's mothers. And then put them on the television, put them on the spotlight and pushing them down everywhere. As if, I mean, this is mass psychosis. This is a mind psychosis kind of thing. A whole hall pushing women everywhere, and men are the ones doing it. And, you know, so this is not the way to treat demon-possessed people. You don't treat them shouting at them and on them as if they are demon. Even if they are demon-possessed, you don't treat them like this. You don't begin to mistreat them like this as if they have committed crime. Because the way these people are being treated is like they have committed crime. As if they are criminals. But they just have problems. The fact that they have problems doesn't mean that they have to be maltreated.
Where are you? If I leave your case, I'm not coming back to it. What is the person? No. Stretch your hand to me. Stretch your hand.
Okay, this one. So you've seen one example of the wrong treatment of people who are just innocent victims. Because somebody has problem doesn't mean that you have to humiliate them like that. Or mess them up and, you know, expose them, disgrace them. By the way, one of the ethics of pastoral ethics is for you to be able to honor people's privacy. Even if these people have demon possession. You know what I mean? Honor their privacy. Honor their privacy. Don't expose them in the camera to the rest of the world like that. I mean, some people come to you in confidence that they have a problem. And then you want to put them in the camera and, you know, making the whole world to disgrace them to the whole world. We shouldn't do that in the name of deliverance. Yes.
Now, you must leave. You must leave. You must leave. You must leave now. Return to her no more. From this day, go.
Go back. Let's start again.
Can you see that?
Because if you see the eye of the pastor himself, it's like he himself is the one that is demon possessed. I cannot even understand which one of the two is demon possessed.
Of her body.
Either both. See the eye.
You must leave.
See again. Roll it back again. See the face. See the eye of the pastor himself. Is that not more reminding you of a more demon possessed man himself? So which one of them is more demon possessed than the other? I think two of them are demon possessed. Because it's not by might, it's not by power. It's supposed to be by the Spirit of God. It is the authority you have in Christ that sets demons free. You know, look at the way the man himself is, you know, doing his eyes as if himself is demon, you know, as if both of them are demon possessed, you know. You don't need shouts, you don't need, you know, drama, you don't need spectacles, you don't need to be, you know, screaming or doing your eye like that to set a demon free. No, I mean, take it easy, take it easy. Let's see another drama here before we go. Yes, please. See what this one is doing, though. What is he doing? What is he doing? He himself is demon possessed, though. What is he doing?
Fire! You demon, you must submit your life to superior authority. In Jesus' mighty name. Fire! Fire!
What is this man doing, eh?
Out!
He himself is more afraid than...
Who are you? Shall I speak out?
These Africans, eh?
Fire!
Where is this one coming from? Belgium?
Fire! Fire! Okay, come out of the...
Let him go and treat a fellow European like him like that now. Let him go and treat his fellow Germans or Dutch people like that or Belgian people like that. Let him go and treat them like that too. They will take him to court and sue him. He will spend the rest of his years in prison. But they will go to Africa and be slapping people everywhere. All this slapping of innocent people, and telling them they are demon possessed, and the guy just has to act. You see, all these things are just jokes. They are just jokes. These people are just playboys. These guys are just playboys, I tell you what. That is rubbish. No authority, nothing. Just by thinking that you are shouting fire, fire, something will happen. I'm beating. Why is he slapping that guy everywhere? I think the guy himself is foolish. He's supposed to give him a dirty slap. Give him some dirty slap. Let him wake up. What is that? Is it wrestling? Please, I beg. Make you show me another one. I beg. These people, in the name of deliverance, what they are just useless and manipulating Africa and Africans in the name of deliverance. Show it to deliverance. No, as for Bojdanian as well.
Yeah, I know.
Preservation. That's just what it's. Which one is that one again?
It's concept.
It's a concept. No?
Wise men Christopher administers prayer in the power
Wise
of the
men. Who gave him wise men?
prayer every
So who said this? Why are they slapping like that? I think they must have learned this slapping from somewhere. Why are they all doing the same thing? Slapping people everywhere in the head and everywhere. What is that doing? What does slapping have to do with this thing?
and removed in Jesus' name. Get ready to watch what happens.
Yeah, I like that guy. He has come to demonstrate. So they have to hold him down. You know how their drama has started. Their drama. They like the drama type. You can just see from the eye of the guy that he's just playing. He's just playing slow motion. I mean, these are just drama people. All kind of foolishness in the name of deliverance. So.
Power. What is the power all about?
Ah, okay.
Destroy.
These are children of TB Joshua.
I fornicate. I disturb the peace of the people.
Okay, because you fornicate. Who tell you that fornication is demon possession? Who doesn't fornicate? Many people fornicate now. I fornicate. He just thinking, he has to say something.
We have destroyed
Organized deliverance. These are all make-up organized deliverance. You see the guy who is demon possessed? He's too kind. His face is too kind for that. Even he's a bad actor. It's all bad acting.
Come on.
It's bad acting, oh. They are just playing games in the church. It's like people are coming for movies now in the church, not for the word of God.
You want to tell me you don't know? Jesus knows. Oh, the name we don't want to hear.
A lot of people watch this.
People are coming to just watch. And why do they need to hold him like that? All those people are holding him. If there is authority, you remember yesterday we spoke about it, one word is enough. And you don't talk to demons. And the reason why people are talking like this, like I told you yesterday, is because when you don't have authority, they don't. Yesterday he said Jesus stopped them from talking is because they know him. The demons know him, so they don't need to be engaged in conversation. There's only one place where Jesus spoke with the demon. He just asked him, what is your name? That one said Legion, because we are many. And he stopped him from talking further and cast him out. So, but what these people are doing, they are not, it's a conversation. It is not allowed. You are not supposed to be holding conversation with Satan. You are not supposed to be holding conversation with Satan. That is all, deception. Now, I think this one I have enough. I'm sorry. I think we had enough today. Let me tell you what happened today. You remember the story of Toyin yesterday, right? The lady who called in last night. Okay. That lady that called in last night and gave her telephone number, I'm sure she's online now. She just wrote me a letter and we just finished reading her letter now. Do you know this lady, she has received how many? 150? She has received 150 calls since yesterday. 150 calls of people from this platform, of people needing some kind of consultation or the other. She said this is apart from those who wrote text messages. So over 200 people, maybe 300 people have consulted her just in one day who wants help and deliverance. Now, some of the people who consulted her and who are calling her, you know what they want to find out? How is it? You come here. They were asking her, Toyin, you tell us the truth. You mean you got the deliverance after all those masquerade that you are talking about? In fact, that letter is here. You mean all the masquerade disappeared just because of Pastor Sunday? No, just by being with Pastor Sunday like that. And you mean he didn't, that is all the deliverance? You mean he didn't do any deliverance session? She said, no deliverance session, no. Pastor just said, sit down and be listening to me. She sat down and listened to me for 5 days. I never prayed for her. I never, cast any demons out. Just listening, just sitting down with me here. All the masquerade, there are two spirits. One masquerade, all the men of God. One man of God in all the men of God in London, they were seeing masquerade. And then the men of God in Nigeria are seeing masquerade. Then the second spirit, they were saying, what did they call it? Oh, finish, not finish. Not finish. What is the spirit? Second spirit that was there yesterday. Spirit of not cut short or something. Is it cut short? Cut short spirit or near success syndrome. Yes, the second spirit that they were seeing all around her, and they were not just seeing that spirit around her alone. They were seeing that spirit near success. Yeah, near success spirit or syndrome. They were seeing it upon her, And they were seeing it upon our siblings, all our brothers and sisters in Nigeria. So she will be in London, one man of God will see the near success syndrome. And then the other one over there in Nigeria also, all the men of God there will be seeing near success failure syndrome. And then all the people everywhere, they are seeing the near success syndrome. She's here, she's the one writing now. Toyin Ogun Womoju, she's here now. If you want to find her, some people are asking for her contact. She's still here now, look at her. Her name is Toyin Oju? Ogun Womoju. It's an Ijebu name like me, but I can't pronounce that name. I'm hearing that name for the first time. That's on the tough Ijebu one. So the near success syndrome, yes. So they are asking her, how can Pastor Sunday not conduct any deliverance? And you know, she had gone through all kind of deliverance. She said in one of the deliverances, she was not eating for 10 days. I forgot to ask her, is it with water or without? Were you drinking water, or were you drinking juice, or drinking tea, or drinking milk, or drinking some beverages? Or you were not even drinking at all. 10 days she was not eating. So I was wondering, what was she? Were you eating a little bit, or you were not eating at all? So anyway, she had gone through all kind of suffering, that woman. And all the syndrome didn't go. Near success syndrome didn't leave her. And the masquerade didn't go. Okay, she said dry fast though. Dry fast for 10 days. No water. No water for 10 days. Abba. They don't kill the woman. 10 days, no water. Now, now I see why all the women are falling. Because by the time they put hand on you after 10 days of no fast, no water, no food, nothing. They don't even need to put hand on you. They just need to say anything. You will do anything. Just let me begin to come and eat again. And now I understand why the women are only on ground and doing all kind of things. You will do any kind of drama just for them to say it's finished. Hey, me too, I would have done the drama. I will roll on any ground. Any role you want me to roll, I will roll. Just for me to begin to feel free again and begin to eat my food, JJ, and go back home. So you see how our minds have been brainwashed and messed up to the extent that people are calling her, this lady, she has been so successful. After 1 month of getting back to London, she got her business back. She started her projects. Her life started picking up again. Now, less than 1 year, she now wants to single-handedly sponsor our television programs in Nigeria. And she has already promised 1 million towards the television program by herself, to put my messages on TV in Nigeria. So this is 1 year later. And she told you that she didn't have money. In fact, she was so bad, she couldn't even pay for HMT. I had to pay for her to come and do HMT. I never knew her before, but I saw her later. I said, this woman that is writing like this, she's so much pain. She's in London there. She cannot even afford to come to HMT. So I had to pay for her myself for her to come to this HMT. Thank God I paid. I said, thank God Mayowa was not around that time. Because it's Mayowa that is helping me to manage money now. Mayowa doesn't allow me to give money anyhow this way anymore. So, thank God Mayowa was not here. So, I was able to pay for her to come for HMT. So, she came for HMT. And who would have known that this kind of destiny was there? So now that her life has turned over, she, like I said, she now single-handedly want to pay for my television program so that they will put my messages on Nigeria television. Now people are calling her; they cannot believe that. You mean you didn't do anything? You didn't do any delay? Because Nigerian mind, they have brainwashed us to the extent that there is no way she could really be free through. Without that kind of deliverance being done. That is the deception they have brought upon our head. But it's not true. Thank God, I didn't even meet with her until the last day when she was leaving. I was seeing her, but I was not talking to her. We didn't have one-on-one meeting with her at all. I just said, oh, you are the one. I said, be helping other people serve. She was the one helping other people here. And she went through the process, and now she's now a deliverer to others. Yesterday alone, I think the problem she's now having is that she's having so many calls I think 150 calls in one day. So it means she cannot sleep, she cannot eat, she cannot do her business because all the calls are coming just for her to help them. I said, we will not give your telephone out again, no, because they let them be writing you on inbox you. Because the message, so many people have become victims of this deliverance something. And she said, yes, I just listen. So that's why all those people, all those things those people are doing, all those mesmerizing, pushing down all those women and thinking they are anointed is rubbish, rubbish. Rubbish. Because our own was supposed to be a big one because she's coming from Ijebu, like me. And they are all in masquerade. I'm sure by the time she got to my house here, all the masquerade disappeared. Now there's no more masquerade. In fact, what is she writing here? She even said, let me even write, some of the things she didn't say yesterday. Where was she saying she's no more, she has, Where is she writing? I encourage many. Okay, she's saying, she said, once I receive my freedom, the only work she started working on herself is to listen to all the messages on YouTube. So that is, the deliverance, the biggest deliverance is through the word of God. So the only work that Tony was doing on herself is just to be listening to my messages on YouTube. And that is the deliverance. That's the only deliverance, apart from coming to Ukraine. So you need to work hard at whatever you want to do, your calling. She's talking about working hard on her calling. So she said, since she came back from Ukraine, I am no more afraid of anything because the word has set her free. I'm no more afraid of anything, especially the imagined issues, all this. And she used to think, because she was believing all the rubbish they are put in her head. Those who are now imagined issues. She says she's no more afraid of them. I don't even see spider webs again. And she used to see all the spider webs everywhere. She didn't talk about that yesterday. Spider webs. What is spider web? I see spider webs sometimes in my house, even in my own room. Some spider web come. I just remove it and go by my way, Jerry. This. But she said I don't even see the spider webs again. But before, some people are even there is no Satan there. They are seeing spider webs and they are in trouble. But in her own case, she said, I'm no more seeing spider web like before. Previously, she was seeing those spider webs everywhere. Spider webs everywhere. She said she's no more seeing them. Because she said she was told that there are some demons of poverty or something that are connected with spider web. Yes, spider web. No more use of paganistic items because she used to have all the things in her house. Or the oil, the ribena, the handkerchief, and all those things. She got rid of them. Got rid of all the handkerchief. You can start a business for handkerchief business, ribena business, oil business, olive oil business, and go and open your own shop. So she got rid of all of them. Got rid of all the paganistic items. And then she got rid of the books, the prayer books. Olukoya, what do they call him? Olukoya? Yeah, prayer rain and what do they call it? Olukoya books. She got rid of all of them from her house. And prosperity started coming. I'm sure she stopped paying all the tithe and offering to those churches. She started using that tithe and offering to build orphanages and take care of children in Africa. So I have destroyed, what you see what she said? She said, I have destroyed the prayer books. Instead of not sleeping, because she was not sleeping at night from 12 to 3 o'clock every day. She went and destroyed all the prayer books. I started sleeping, JJ. You better go and get your deliverance and begin to sleep. Can you imagine? For you not to be sleeping for a whole year or 6 months, be praying from 12 to 3, no sleep. Of course, anybody can get sick after that. You can get any kind of demon after that. All kind of psychotic or psychosis will come to you when you don't sleep for 6 months and just casting out demons. So she said she destroyed all those prayer books that because those prayer books, he said they used to put her in bondage. And then after she destroyed the prayer books, you know what happened to her? Hallelujah. She stopped having bad dreams. So if you are having bad dreams, maybe you need to get rid of some books, some prayer books. You need to get rid of the prayer books and you stop having your the bad dreams. So she stopped having the bad dreams after she got rid of the prayer books. She said, my freedom is total. Joy has replaced gloom and favor is the order of the day now for me. And before, she couldn't have favor. She couldn't, in fact, I mean, someone who is so educated, she couldn't get jobs, she couldn't work. She's such a professional. She was a professional on a high level in UK. But when she started going for all these deliverances, she lost everything. She couldn't get a job despite her degrees. But now she has her own business. If you need real estate or real estate education or real estate business in England, get in touch with her. Tony, what's her name again? Oju Obo. Yeah, the name is there. Get her. She will help you to start your own business, or she help you to do some things with your business. But the reason I'm telling the story is, thank you. The reason I'm reminding you of the story of yesterday is because people think she needed some drama. So people were surprised that they wanted her. Oh, despite the fact that she told the story yesterday on phone, but they wanted to hear by themselves, and they were querying her and say, you mean there was no deliverance session with Pastor Sunday? How can that be? So some of them want to come now themselves, but some of them have been so messed up that they don't have job, they don't have money, they cannot pay for their ticket, they cannot do anything. But it's not too late for any one of you who want to come for HMT. HMT starts November 5th from 5th to 12th. You can come before then and you can stay even afterwards. But the idea is that you too can come and get your deliverance without any deliverance session or something. And you will be so free, eh? But before you come, we'll make you start listening to all the messages on YouTube, because that is the greatest key to deliverance. Let's start changing your mindset. Start charging your mind. That is where the real deliverance starts from. Now, let's start the teaching today. So how do we deal with demon-possessed people? How do we deal with demon-possessed people? Can you open the scripture in Acts? I'm going to use Acts. Let's open. If you have your Bible, please open your Bible to the book of Acts of the Apostle. Acts chapter 14. Acts chapter 14. You will see something here very interesting here. Acts chapter 14, HMT. HMT, somebody is asking what is HMT. HMT is the training that I conduct every year for people from all over the world. HMT is called History Makers Training. History Makers Training. History Makers Training. That's where I help people to become what God wants them to become. And by changing, it's an intense period of training just for a week. So if you want, just go to my blog, Sunday Adelaja blog, sundayadelajablog.com/visit. You will see the form there, sundayadelajablog.com/visit. You will see the form and you fill the form. You can fill the form quickly, and then maybe you could still make it to come. Or write to guest@godembassy.org. Guest@godembassy.org. So now let's open our Bible to the book of Acts. Acts chapter 14. Acts chapter 14 from verses 15 to 17. So I'm talking about demon possession, and so that you will know that all this drama, all these people are doing about demon-possessed people, it is just deception. It's a way to just get into the mind of people, control their minds, and take all their money, and then make you their slave so that you'll be running after them everywhere. So Acts chapter 14 says, and saying, men, why are you doing these things? This is Paul talking. He's saying, why are you doing these things? Okay, let me show you the scripture I'm reading so that you'll see. Okay. Yeah. Acts chapter 14, 15 to 17. And saying, why are you doing these things? We also are men with the same nature as you. What scripture? Can you look at the verse? What city was that? Was that in Athens or in Ephesus? I think this was in Athens or Athens. We are also men with the same nature as you, and preach to you that you should turn from these useless things to the living God, who made the heaven, the earth, the sea, and all the things that are in them, who in bygone generations allowed all nations to walk in their own ways. Nevertheless, he did not leave himself without witness. Okay. He did not leave himself without witness. Sorry, guys. Nevertheless, he did not leave. Read the verses before you see what town was it in. What city was it in the Bible? Nevertheless, he did not leave himself without witness, in that he did good for us, rain from heaven, fruitful seasons, filling our hearts with food and gladness. Now, this verse that I'm reading to you is so loaded. It is so loaded. I pray that God will give you understanding. Now, let me tell you what is happening here. What is happening here is that Paul entered into a city that is totally demon-possessed. Now, not demon-possessed, unbelieving. An unbelieving city. A city, a paganistic country, paganistic city. What city was it? Just show the chapter. You will see the So he entered to this city, and everybody there was an unbeliever. Huh? Iconium, yeah, but you see, Iconium, was it in Ephesus? I think that is in Ephesus, right? Ephesus, or I think, was it, what scripture? There, it have Ephesus. Semnasta glava, I mean, Shetrinasta glava, no, the Yane, that, Kakoi Gorod, Bill. Shetrinasta glava, Kakon Gorod. Ephesus, il est affiné. Oh, anyway, Lystra, huh? Lystra. Yeah. Anyway, this was one of the cities of the ancient cities, and this ancient city was totally demon. I mean, no God. I mean, can you remember those days? No God at all. This was just a normal demon position, just like somebody coming to Africa for the first time. Now, the point I want to make is this. Can you? I want two of you come. Father, did it?
Lystra i Derbe.
Lystra.
Derbe.
So now let's see that these people have never had the gospel before. This is let's say this symbolizes two countries, two cities, and these two cities, the gospel was coming for them for the first time. So what if it is according to the gospel that people are preaching today? We would have assumed that entering into a city where they were just idol worshippers, that there will be nobody that is, nobody is supposed to be sane there. Everybody is supposed to be demon possessed. Because they were worshippers of idols. So this is a city, these are cities where people are idol worshippers. But do you realize that even in a city where people are idol worshippers, Paul was not dealing with demon-possessed individually. There were no demon-possessed as such. He was not unpicking people that we are not talking of church. This is in the city. This is in the street. Where nobody is a Christian. Where they are all idol worshippers. Even in a city where everybody is idol worshippers, no drama. No spectacle. no calling up anybody, no casting out of demons from anybody. You see, you don't need to be looking for demons. But today, in a place where everybody is a Christian, we are still saying people are demon possessed. I don't know if you get it. I mean, today, you go to church. Church. You go to church, they say you are demon possessed. Half of the church is coming out for deliverance. What kind of nonsense is that? How can you say people are born again and people are church members and now you want to be doing deliverance for them? This is a whole city here, 2 cities, two towns, 2 countries. No demon possessed at all in this place. There are no demon possessed anywhere. There were cases and instances where there were demon possessed, but you don't need to look for them. The fact that people are idol worshippers, and that's the point I was trying to make to you since this last week, that it's not easy for you to really come across someone who is truly demon possessed. They are very rare. That's why I say what you will normally come across usually is demonic attack, satanic attack. But demon possession is much more rare to come across. Yes, it is. I'm going to show you other instances when people are really demon possessed, and I will also show you how to deal with that one. But for you to find out someone who is truly demon possessed is not easy to come across. Normally, what you will see is someone who is attacked, just attacked, under Satan can attack people, and he attacks all of us. But most of his attacks are targeting your mind. Most of the satanic attacks are deception, lies, those 7 weapons that I gave you. So, but to be telling you that you are demon possessed just because you had a dream and you had sex in the dream, or you dreamt in the dream that you ate in the dream, or somebody was running after you in the dream, to say you are demon possessed is utter rubbish. And the reason you are dreaming those things is because you are listening to those pastors most of the time, most likely. But in the real life, this is a city. These are 2 cities here. Lystra and what? Deber. Yeah? Deber and Lystra. 2 cities, 2 countries. And Paul came in there and there was no instance of demon possession. And all of them were idol worshippers. So the whole 2 countries were idol worshippers, worshipping idols, and they couldn't find one demon possessed out of them. Why? Because it's not easy to everybody demon possession is not just something that you go, for you to be demon possessed, Satan needs your permission. You need to be initiated. You need to open your heart and accept the demon into your life. But then, let's even assume that all these villages and all these countries where Paul was, let's assume that they are all demon possessed. Let's even assume that they are demon possessed, all right? Even if you assume that they are demon possessed, let's listen to the way Paul is addressing them, talking to them. Let's see what he says. Paul said, "Men, why are you doing these things?" What is this thing he was talking about? Why are you people worshiping idols? He is in the midst of their shrines, shrine, killing people, killing animals, bringing the sacrifice of children. That is what my grandparents, my grandparents did. That is what your grandparents is. But even though they were sacrificing people, sacrificing their own children, that also doesn't mean that they are demon possessed. You might be sacrificing human beings and still not be demon possessed. What that means is that you have been deceived. That only signifies deception. People who sacrifice, who are idol worshippers, the problem is with deception. So what Paul is doing, he is dealing with the biggest problem, with the biggest weapon of satanic attack, which is deception. Remember the 7 weapons? One is deception. The second one is lie, then doubt, and all the rest. So what is really happening? Is not Satan. Paul didn't begin to go and cast out demons. He was dealing with the greatest one of them, and the greatest attack is deception. He knew that these people that were worshiping idols, they were only worshiping idols because they have been deceived. Deception is the biggest weapon of satanic attack. It's the biggest weapon of attack. Deception is much more commonplace. All of us are being deceived every day. It's much more commonplace than being demon possessed. All the pastors are supposed to talk more about that than, trying to put all the women down that they are demon possessed. I mean, that is just ridiculous. So see the way, but what I want you to see is the way Paul was talking to these people. He says, men, why are you doing these things? And what is the thing they were doing? They were worshiping idols. They were sacrificing their children. They were sacrificing animals. And he was just talking to them. He was not treating them like enemy. He was not running away from them. He was not telling them that they need to be arrested or they need to be killed. He was not bringing bodyguard to hold them down. He was not treating them like, you are killers, you are doing this. He was just coming with truth. He was coming with understanding. That is what I did with Toyin. I didn't need to demonize her and say, Toyin, okay, you are demon possessed. Now we are going to treat you like this. Okay, there is my masquerade. Even if a masquerade is running after her. Okay, somebody come and hold this thing. Even if a masquerade is running after this girl, man. Yes. I'm sorry. Even if masquerade is running after her, let's say this is the masquerade. You want to take her. This is what we are supposed to do. This is what God is supposed to do. I'm supposed to be defending her against the masquerade, against the enemy, against the demon. This is what Jesus did. Jesus came to protect the victim. Jesus came to protect the one that is being harassed and molested. I shouldn't be molesting her and taking her to fall down and to die and to put it out. Come on. She is not the one. It is a spirit. And spirit is not by, come on. By eating and slapping her everywhere. A spirit is I'm slapping. It's not the spirit I'm slapping. Spirit doesn't have body. It is her that has body. What I do with spirit is to use this language of the spirit, which is the language of spirit is faith and authority. I will use your authority and say, you demon, you can't touch her. Come on. Protect her. That's what Jesus did. When all of them wanted to carry that woman that was caught in adultery and accuse her, he came between her and them. So people who are demon possessed, like a whole city, a whole country was demon possessed. I mean, they were idol worshippers. What is he saying? What is he talking about? Bring me something. What was he talking about? He said, man, why are you doing, you come and stand here. He was telling them, man, why are you doing these things? You are sacrificing your children. You are sacrificing your animals. You don't need to kill. You are killing yourself. You are hating one another. Even people who are wicked, they don't become wicked because God created them wicked. It is because they were deceived. People are saying, but they are witches and wizards. Yes, but witches and wizards. And let me tell you the truth about witches and wizards. How do you treat witches and wizards? You have to treat them with compassion. How? Compassion? Yes. See, he was persuading them, man, why are you doing these things? They were not his enemies. They were his potential converts. They were the ones he's supposed to convert. Witches and wizards of yesterday are my members today. Witches and wizards of today are the converts of tomorrow. So even if they are witches and wizards, if I am a servant of God, if I am a servant of God for real, I should know that the reason they are witches and wizards today is because they have been deceived. They were deceived. They were deceived. They believed it. that if they become witches and wizards, they will be protected. They were looking for power, just like most of you are looking for power today. Most of you are going to those churches because you are looking for power. You are looking for protection. They also were looking for power and protection, and that is what they know. Witches and wizards were deceived to believing that they will get protection, that they will get blessing, that they will get something or the other. That is why they accepted it. Just like we ourselves would have done when you are in a desperate situation, you need help, you accept anything that is available. That is who witches and wizards are. And that's why Jesus said, love them, love your enemies. And those ones who are cursing you, bless them. If they are hungry, give them something to eat. If they are thirsty, give them water. If they are naked, give them something to wear. That is how we were treated in Africa. Your own grandfather, your own grandfather, they were all like that. And the missionaries that came and gave you education and gave your parents education, they were not telling them, the altar, you have an altar in your house. The altar in your father's house, you have to go and uproot it. The altar, fire on the altar, your father. They were not saying, altar, how many altars do you have? Altar, you have to renew all the altar. I'm talking about when the real altar was there. The missionaries were not doing all that. Today, there is no more altar, there is no more building, everything is scattered. Everything is already 100 years or 200 years ago since your grandfather that had an altar has died. They are now telling you to go back to the village and go and be looking for the altar, with some mysterious altars that have been disappeared a long time ago. When they were real, nothing happened. Now that there are no more altar, they are making you to resurrect. What kind of deception is going on in our countries? But you come here. Come and see where there are real altars. The whole country were idol worshippers. The whole country had altar. Every house had altar. And see what Paul did. Man, why are you doing these things? We also are men with the same nature as you. And preach to you that you should turn from these useless things. These are idols. Oh. These were idol worshippers. So they are useless. They are not, what they mean by useless is not the way we use useless as abusive today. What they mean by useless is that they don't benefit you. That these are idols that are useless. They will not benefit you. They are useless things to the living God. Compared to the living God, they are useless. So you don't need them. See the way, and these people are witches and wizards, though. They are idol worshippers, oh. They all have idols, oh. And they have altar, oh. They were not saying, oh, your name has been taken to the altar. Oh, you are killing somebody. You brought your children to service. Oh, we have to uproot it. We have to do sacrifice. We have to bring oil. You have to bring ribena. You have to bring handkerchief. You have to pray. How many nights were they praying? Did Paul tell them here, all these idol worshippers, did Paul tell them to pray from 12 to 3 o'clock every night, midnight, and be calling the blood of Jesus, blood of Jesus, Lord have mercy, blood of Jesus, blood of Jesus? Why didn't Paul tell them to go and fast for 7 days? Why did Paul didn't tell them only water, or don't pray, don't talk to anybody, just fast alone, just be fasting, praying? Rubbish! Who has bewitched us? Who has deceived us? I'm not talking about Christian nation, no. I'm not talking about where there is church, oh. I'm not talking about people who have been born again, no. I'm talking about a whole country of idols. A whole country of idols. He was just telling them, these things are useless. They cannot help you. Compared to the living God. The living God made the heaven and the earth. He is talking to them to reason that they have been deceived. That those idols, no matter how many children they bring as sacrifice, so no matter how many animals they bring as sacrifice, they were useless. It was now telling them, bringing light to them. You see, the greatest deliverance instrument is the truth. He's now bringing the truth of the gospel to them. Talking to them about the living God who made, this is the truth now. That truth, just by those people listening, is what set them free. Set the whole country free. No need for deliverance service. No need for deliverance. The gospel cleanses you. The truth cleanses you. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So all those stories, why is it that they were not telling, this Paul was not telling stories of, your grandfather did this, your grandmother did this, they are running after you, they want to kill you. They were killing each other for free. And this was not Europe, this is Asia. And this is the gospel that changed the whole world. Come. He said, this is the living God. This is the truth. Bringing freedom. Who made the heaven and the earth, the sea, and all the things that are in them. This is truth. And this is the key to freedom. Who in bygone generations allowed all nations to walk in their own ways. You see? And walk in their own ways. All nations of the earth, God allowed them to walk in their own ways. So you think that you have villages, you have witches and wizards in your village? God permitted them to be in ignorance until some time. Until the time that I will appear on stage. Until the time that you will appear on stage. Don't be condemning them for it. They were in ignorance. The time of ignorance, God has overlooked. God overlooked your time of ignorance. God overlooked my own time of ignorance. And you don't want to overlook the time of ignorance of people in your village. What is wrong with you? God is love. This is love that was brought to these people. That don't worry, don't condemn yourself. God will not even allow them to condemn themselves. Don't condemn yourself. God himself allowed all nations to walk in their own ways. And what were the ways the nations were walking? Idol worshipping, witchcraft, wizard, sorcery, killing people, bringing their children for offering. This is the way all nations were walking. Europe, Africa, everything. God is not deaf. God saw all that. But God also knows that he has an answer for them. God knows that they were deceived. They have simply been deceived. They need mercy. They need love. They need deliverance. They need the good news. They need gospel. That's why the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ is the power of God. Just this God thing alone sets people free. All the demons start coming out. And the whole nation was set free. No prayer. No night vigil. I heard that in Africa, people are doing night vigil for deliverance. I didn't even know. Because we do night vigil here, but we don't do night vigil for deliverance or demons. We are doing night vigil just to pray for the country and bless the country. Can you imagine how much life have been wasted in all those deliverance churches? Ignorance, Nevertheless, he did not leave himself without a witness, in that he did good. Who was he doing good to? To the witches? To the wizards? To the idol worshippers? He was doing good to them. Because that good he was doing to them was a witness of his goodness. It was a witness of his love. It was a witness to them that I know you are killing somebody. I know you killed those 5 children. But see, I still have mercy on you. I still send you rain. I still send you sun. I still send you rain and sun. I know you killed your neighbor. I know you killed that other person. But see, I still want to have mercy on you. You are doing all these things in ignorance. I know you are doing them in ignorance. I know you don't know better. So I'm still loving you. See, I'm still drawing you close. I even made you to come to this meeting with my servant Paul today. I even made you to hear. I even made you to come. And then that love is touching the people's heart. And when that love is touching people's heart, I'm a killer like this. I have killed that, I killed that, I killed that. I'm an idol worshiper, I killed this, I killed it. And God is telling me that he is still showing me good. That is the goodness of the Lord that leads people to repentance. He says it is the goodness of God. Not the judgment of God, though. The goodness of God that leads people to repentance. So that goodness here, nevertheless, he did not leave himself without witness, in that he did good. The good he kept on doing to them is what convicted them that, me, such a horrible sinner, and God was still having mercy on me like this, okay, I know that God, or is that God I need? That is it now. It is the love of God. It is love that overcomes evil. It is kindness it is good that overcomes evil. But when we say you will die, then fight will begin. Then you'll be killing each other. Then they will never be saved. This is not the gospel, what we are saying in Africa. Come. Nevertheless, he did not leave himself without witness, in that he did good. In that he did good, gave us rain from heaven, and fruitful seasons. He's even giving them fruitful seasons for their farms. Blessing their work, even though they were idol worshippers and witches and wizards. Filling our hearts with food and gladness. That is who God is. That's why he said, when you too see your enemy, give him something to eat if he doesn't have. Be good to him. Love your enemy. He doesn't know what he's doing. It's ignorance. This is the gospel of the Lord Jesus. Applaud him.
Hallelujah.
Okay, now I'm going back to my seat. Get the list ready for me, please. Now I'm going to give you the points one by one. I'm going to give you people the points right now, one by one. So that you will see how God works and how good God is. This God we are serving is love. Oh. This God is a God of love. This God is totally different from what religion preaches. Oh. Totally different. Now, let's now see what I've written here, my notes. Let's see, where's my something? Okay. Can you be showing to what I'm going to be reading? Let's see how the apostles behaved themselves while in the midst of demon-possessed people, idol worshippers in the above story. Number one, bring it lower a little bit so that you could point to it easily. Number one, no superiority. No superiority. We are the same as you. That's what was said in the scripture. We are ordinary people like you. Have the scripture still. Can you lower it? Yeah. Show it to them where it says, we men, why are you doing these things? We are also men with the same nature as you. You see? That's number 1 point. Go back to the point. You see? No superiority. We are the same as you. Number 2, they stooped lower than them. They stooped lower than those idol worshippers. They said, we plead with you. They were pleading with them to turn from useless things and practices. Go back to the scripture and show them where it's written. We are men like you, yeah? And preach to you that you should turn from these useless things, you see? Go back to the points. So they were pleading with unbelievers, pleading with witches and wizards. They were not cursing witches and wizards. They were not cursing them. They were not, bringing rain on them. Fire. They were not raining down fire upon them. They were pleading. They stoop lower. That is love for you there. That is real love there. They stoop lower than them and pleading for them to forsake idol worshiping, killing of people, and witchcraft. Number 3, they said, God in bygone generations allowed all nations to walk in their own ways. God allowed it. See it? See, God allowed people who were unbelievers, all of you, people who are witches and wizards, God allowed it in bygone times so that now they will embrace the grace and salvation of Christ. Let's go back to the point. Number 4. Make it come up. Okay. He shielded these evil people from shame. He protected them from blame so that they don't blame themselves. He said, don't condemn yourselves. Don't blame yourself. Don't say, oh, I've killed 10 people. I've killed 20 people. Stop blaming yourself. Don't be ashamed of your past. Don't condemn yourself for the evil that you have done before. He shielded them from shame, from blame, from condemnation, rather offering them mercy and love of God. This is the gospel. So we are not supposed to be killing witches and wizard enemies. We also were enemies yesterday. We were all enemies of God yesterday. But all enemies of yesterday are members of God's kingdom today. That is why all enemies deserve to be shielded from shame. They deserve to be shielded from blame. They deserve to be shielded from condemnation. We are the ones to be going to them and say, don't worry. The past is gone. Forget about it. God has died for you now. Jesus has now died for you. Because the truth is, all those witches and wizards, Jesus now had paid for the consequences of their sin. Yeah, they were killing people, yes. They were witches and wizards, yes, but Jesus had paid for it. That is why Paul could now come and say, don't worry, don't condemn yourself. Somebody has taken the guilt. For all the people you killed, Jesus has taken the guilt on himself. For all the sacrifices, human sacrifices that you did, don't worry, Jesus has paid the price. You don't need to pay the price again. You don't need to pay the price of self-condemnation again. You don't need to pay the price of shame again. Don't be ashamed again. Don't be ashamed. Don't blame yourself again. All of us were in darkness. All of us were in condemnation. All of us were bad. All of us were enemies of God. All of us. But now Jesus has gone in our place. He has taken the punishment for all the people you killed. For all the people you killed, he has taken the punishment that you should have taken for killing all those people. He has taken the punishment on himself. He has taken your shame. He has become a man that was rejected of all men, a man of shame and sorrow. He has taken the sorrow of all the evil you committed. He has taken it for your behalf. He has taken the shame that you are supposed to suffer. He has taken it upon himself. He's a man of sorrow, rejected of all men, for your sin's sake, for your evil's sake. This is, so now, even though you are a wizard, even though you are a witch, even though you are evil, but you did it because you are deceived. You are only deceived. God knows what you did. God knows all the evil you have committed. And he has gone to the cross to carry the consequences of those evil upon himself. He has carried the consequences of your mistakes and of your sins and of your evil upon himself. Come now for free. Come and receive freedom. Come and receive forgiveness. Come and receive, redemption. Come and receive cleansing. And that is where the kind of love that convicted those people to now come and submit all their worshiping. That is now what caused them to submit all their idol worshiping instruments. That is now what caused them to submit all their demons and to submit all their witchcraft and come to the Lord. It is the love of God that compelled us to salvation. It is the love of God that compels us. It is the mercy, love of God that brings us to salvation. He shielded them from blame, from self-blame, from self-condemnation. He offered them mercy and love instead of blame, shame, and condemnation. Next one. Number 5. He said, nevertheless, he, God, did not leave himself without a witness, in that he did good, gave us rain. Even though you are idol worshippers, even though you are witches and wizards, God was still doing good to you. So that when he will come to you, he will tell you that, you see, I still love you. This is the good. Why is God doing good to witches and wizards? So that his message of love will be believed. So that even witches and wizards will believe that God is love. That even when they were killing people, even when they were doing their witchcraft, God was still loving them. So when God now comes to them and tells them that I am love, I love even you too, so that they will believe it. Nevertheless, he did not leave himself without witness, in that he did good, gave us rain from heaven and fruitful seasons, filling our hearts with food and gladness. These are all idol worshippers, witches and wizards. But God needed a witness so that his message of love could be received. Number 6. Even more importantly, he reveals what was God's attitude to them. While they were dead in sins and transgressions, as idol worshippers, as witchcraft people, God still loved them. Just the same with us. When we were yet sinners, he died for our sins. When we were yet sinners, he loved us. Verse 7, point 7. He was indirectly witnessing to them through nature, etc. How? God was already witnessing to them when they were even killing people. Number 8, he did good. By doing good, he was witnessing to them, individually and collectively. Same God does today, even to your enemies. That's why he doesn't say we should kill enemies. That's why he doesn't say we should hate enemy, cause enemy. Because God will not change. His nature is love. And he will still continue to love. Because he doesn't want anyone to perish in their sin. Because all of us also were enemies yesterday. All of us were in sin yesterday. Verse 9, point 9. Another way he witnessed to evil men is through rain, sun, moon, etc. Number 10. Another witness is in blessing their harvest, their labor, their work, etc. Do you know that even you, when you were unbeliever, God was witnessing to you by protecting you, by preserving you, by blessing you. Number 11. He does the same today to all men and to your enemies as well. That's why he doesn't sanction killing of enemies. Number 12. Another way witness is through provision of food and gladness. This is the God that I know. This is the God that I know. This is the God that I serve. And this is the God of the New Testament. Not the one that is pushing around women and children and saying they are demon-possessed and they are witches and wizards. I want you people to come and tell me what you got today. What is going through your emotions, through your mind with these things that you are hearing? What kind of God is this? This is the God of the gospel, just for you to know. Anything you have been taught otherwise is an abuse of the gospel. This is the God of heaven that we all supposed to know and worship. This is the Christian God. Any other thing is not Christianity. Please.
Hi, everyone. So I love this message so much because, I don't even know how to explain it, but I actually received a message today from someone, and the person told me that the way we're supposed to deal with homosexual people is not the way that we're supposed to deal with, like with Christians. So for instance, if they have an event going on, or if they're getting married, you should never go there because it's an abomination. And if you do that, you're just showing them that you approve of what they're doing. So I was just thinking about this, thinking, wow, if you're able to condemn someone this way, who's not even your enemy, what are you going to do when it comes to your enemy? And I was just so glad that Pastor was talking exactly about that, because we are talking about people who think differently than us, who act differently than us, who behave differently than us, who believe in different things than us, be it a witch or a wizard, be it someone who, worships another god, be it someone who doesn't believe in God. All of these people seem to be enemies to us. And the way that we deal with them is by not showing them love. This is like the least or the last thing that we think about when it comes to showing them love, or when it comes to dealing with them. We don't think about showing them love. We don't think about shielding them. I mean, talk about shielding them. We condemn them, or we don't talk to them, or we avoid them, or we condemn them. We do all sorts of things, and loving them is the last thing that we think about, let alone shielding them. We don't even know that shielding them is part of loving them. And if we love them, it's mostly praying for them, or not going somewhere to show them that we disagree, or that all sorts of things. Well, it is so simple. It is really so simple. We've been interpreting so many things when it comes into love, that love means this, love means that, and I was just so shocked, and I found that message so timely, really, because it should help us to see what does love mean? What does love mean to us? We should all ask ourselves, what is it that love means to us? How does it look like in practice? Do we shield people who are different than us, who are supposed to be our enemies, who we consider as our enemies? Do we do that? Would we all really shield? I mean, to me, this was the thing that was highlighted to me most. Because who shields their enemies? Who shows this type of mercy? In fact, one of the videos that we were watching in one of those mega churches is where a pastor was saying that those who are sinners and those who are wicked or wizards or fornicating or whatever they were all doing, they should be coming out, prayed for, so that God will show them mercy, otherwise they will go to hell. Do you see the contrast? Where what we're hearing in the churches is that you're going to be condemned if you don't do certain things, instead of showing them love, and the love that who God is. God is not going to force you to come to him by threatening you with, eternal hell, because he wants you to be saved, and he wants you to be safe because he loves you, not because he wants to punish you. And I think that's the problem that we have. We're still living by the law of sin and death, not even considering that we're doing it, thinking that we're living by the law of the Spirit, while we're actually not. We're thinking that if we don't do this and that, we will go to hell, and unbelievers or sinners, not even talking about them, but even about ourselves. So what about others who are not considering themselves as Christians, or who we don't consider to be Christians? So,
but this scenario, tell me about the scenario itself. This scenario of Paul amidst pagan people, idol worshippers, witches and wizards. See his attitude, his words. What is that? What see? I want you to picture that. Yeah. What are you seeing? What is he doing? Just in your own words, even. Narrate that story again to us.
Yeah, so here's Paul talking to people who
came to a
city
where everybody is an idol worshiper.
Yes, everybody's an idol worshiper. And the first thing I see in Paul is compassion. He just has compassion for the people who are idol worshippers. Compassion. If I look at myself, and we all should be doing that, asking ourselves, what is the first thing that we do when we see an idol worshipping person? In all those churches, I saw scenes where they were asking questions, bring your charm, or bring this, or bring that, and where is it? Where did you hide it? Or how long are you doing this? And what did you do? And why did you do it? All these questions making people to feel guilty about what they were doing, making people to justify themselves.
As if God is not love.
Exactly, as if God is not love. God is just there to punish you, to look for ways where you have been doing sin, where you have been wrong.
And an opportunity
opportunity to just hit you in the head. While Paul came to actually cover all of that. He came to just erase it, to make you not even think about it, even though you were guilty. He made you to forget about it.
Because Jesus paid it all.
Yes.
Because Jesus paid it all. Paul knew the gospel. Paul knew what Jesus did. Paul knew that Jesus has already paid for their witchcraft. Paul knew that Jesus has already paid the price for all the killings they were involved in. Paul knew that salvation, the sacrifice of Jesus, redemption means that you don't need to carry the blame for the sins anymore. You don't need to carry the condemnation anymore. You don't need to feel the guilt anymore. He has felt that guilt for you.
And it also shows me that he actually understood himself as well. He considered his own coming to Jesus, because Paul, he as well did atrocities. He was killing people himself, and he was forgiven. He was embraced by Christ with love. So why would we not extend the same courtesy, the same love to other people? This is what it was just shocking to me. Imagine this person going to a city where everyone is how he used to be.
No one Christian.
Not one Christian.
No church.
No church. No assembly of the brethren,
Everybody is demon possessed.
Everyone. And all he does is to show compassion, is to show the love of Christ. It's
And
to
that
make,
is the gospel.
yes. It is, to me, it is exactly that. It is the gospel in practice. You know, and we're all asking all these questions, and what do we do here? What should we do then? And how do we behave in terms of, you know, this type of person? What do we do with a person who has hurt us? What do we do with people who've killed us? We've seen those examples. Pastor Sunday has been showing us where people have been forgiving murderers. People have been forgiving others who took loved ones from them. And they showed them compassion. They showed them the love of God. They showed them
Court, even.
In court, yes.
And the murderer becoming the son.
Yes, the murderer became the son, where there was a woman whose son was shot, and then she even adopted him. She made him to become her own son. I mean, this is
because of forgiveness.
Because of forgiveness.
And love.
And she was even saying it, that God put that into her heart, that all that is needed, both for him and for her, is to forgive, is to love. So I'm just so grateful, and I wish that we all can take that message and make it our own. Make it our own and make it practical. Put that into practice and go to people
And
and
it is that message of love. They didn't need to conduct deliverance service.
Yeah.
It is that love that convicted the hearts of people, and people, the goodness of God led them to the repentance. Yes. It is the goodness of God that leads people to repentance. The goodness of God leads people to repentance. Even witches and wizards. It is not fire. It is not fall down and die. It is not sent back to sender. It is not. It is love.
Yeah. We should actually ask ourselves, that's the last thing I want to say, is that we should ask ourselves if we really want people to be saved. Because if we want people to be saved, love will be our language, and only love. We should not even talk about wanting to have people saved at all. All we should do is to love people. This will bear witness to the fact that we truly want to have people saved and bring them to Christ.
Thank you. So what did you get from that message and from this illustration? I hope you were able to capture the picture.
Yes, from the illustration, first of all, I just realized one simple thing that you said, that the demons don't have body, and then, you know, hitting somebody. I mean, that's just so simple. It's just as simple as that. And why is it that none of us considered that? Yesterday we were laughing with the lady that said she was beating they beat the hell out of her when they were delivering her during deliverance, and we were all laughing. But even at that time, none of us thought of this, that they don't actually have body for us to hit or do anything with. So why? And the only language is faith. You know, it's faith that they understand. It's not faith hitting and authority, and it's not hitting. So that, for me, that was one deliverance totally. And then secondly, the other thing I realized when Dr. Sunday was doing, or with the illustration, was the protection part of it. How, you know, if you really care for somebody, what you do is protect them. And this embarrassment...
And that's what Paul was doing.
Yes.
He was protecting them from shame, from guilt, from self-condemnation. No, don't condemn yourself. Mm-hmm. It's okay. God knew. God allowed that to happen. God closed his eyes already. He doesn't see that because somebody else has paid for that. No. You don't need to condemn yourself anymore. He has paid for it. He paid for it for you. Don't worry. You are protected. Don't blame yourself. Don't condemn yourself. Someone has paid for it.
Yes. So that was really important for me, because I don't see any protection in this deliverance and all these demons mentioning and even alerting you to the demon. It's not protecting you. Because if we think about ourselves, even if there's a problem in the home or in the family, you try to shield, especially like if you have children or anyone that you have authority over. You don't go and tell them that this is a problem. You know, for example, let's say you're going through a financial issue. You don't call all your children, except if you maybe want them to, you know, stop spending lavishly. You would tell them that, you know, we have to, you wouldn't say we have to do this. You protect them. They don't know. You know, your day-to-day activity, you still go on. Even with friends and partners, you protect them. And I don't see that. We've lost compassion totally. We've lost we've lost our mind. We don't even know what it's like to love, to protect, to honor people. We don't know it. We're always looking to point fingers.
You come from England. you can now see why the English people will not come to Christ.
Yes, that's where I was going.
And everybody is surprised. Why is Pastor Sunday able to have 99% white people? Real love. No condemnation. No shame. No superiority. Because Paul came down to the level of the people. Stooped lower than them. Lifted them up. Came under them. Lifted them up. Supported them. Protected them from shame. Lifted them up. If you want people in England to come, or in Italy, or in Thailand, or in America, if you want the indigens to, everywhere I go, indigens come. Because I've understood the language of love, the God of love. This God is a God of real love. And when I go to America, real Americans come. When I go to Italy, real Italians come. When I go to Sweden, real Swedish come. Germans come. So the same thing. The spirit of Christ, the spirit of mercy, goodness, love overcomes all barriers. Because love never fails. Love never fails. But you tell me how you understand that picture. I want you to go back to the picture of that story, what you see, and yeah.
Well, the picture, one thing you said during the illustration is that even though you killed somebody, then I still provide you with sun. I still give you rain. I still give you all these things.
I still give you children.
I still give you children.
I'll give you a wife.
Right, yes, I give you
job,
all the things that you
agriculture.
desire. I still give it to you. And I thought about it sometimes that, if all these people are truly evil, why is God doing this? And you know what? Because I didn't have the right answers, I was so angry at God. Because I've been told that this is what is happening, this is what these people are doing. And I was looking at it, okay, if they're doing all this for real, why is God still providing them this? Why is everything still going on well for them? And I'm sure you wonder as well. And it makes you have a disillusion about Christianity, about God. You can't truly love God if you see people as hatred and see people as bad. And when Dr. Sunday was also talking, and he was saying that these are future converts, that just rings so much alarm in my head that, we condemn people. What we see of them right now is what we finish their case.
Now.
Yes. It's like they're done. That's it. They don't have a
But
future
we're not seeing
anymore.
that tomorrow.
No, we don't see that tomorrow. And this is why a pastor will be praying and say, from generation, all their generation will die. Even their unborn children, you'll be praying for them that they will die, the generations to come. But that generation will come, and then maybe that generation will marry your children, or they will go to school with your children. You're cursing them already now. Don't finish people's story. Don't finish their story based on what is happening now.
Yeah.
God knows much more than you do, and God still loves them. God still have hope for them. Even you, God still have hope for you for greater things. So why do we do it? And the illustration is so simple. The examples that Paul gave were so simple. And I was just wondering how are we reading our Bibles? Because if I didn't know, honestly, I must confess here, there were times earlier I used to think that pastor has a special Bible. Seriously, I thought that, I don't really read Bibles that much because there's so much confusion for me when I didn't have understanding. And I
have a special Bible.
Yes, I can't even believe I'm saying this because I actually thought that he had a special Bible, and I used to look, every time I would look at his Bible and he will point out. I would think, and then what I'll do is I'll go back into the computer, and then I'll put the same thing in, and I'll look at different versions of it. But how come I didn't hear this before? What happened to me? What is going on? And I keep doing that. And even, and now I understand. I was just so stupid. I was thinking, now that Julie gets the scriptures out, it's not from Pastor's Bible. Because even I couldn't even believe, because this is from Julie's, Pastor would just say, look up Ephesians, whatever, and just put it down and, get it ready. And it's not from pastors. This is Julie. And I never told Julie, I've never told anyone this. I always thought he must have a different type of, especially when I was in England. And even when even here, even up to last month, I was thinking, no, let me just look, I'm going to have a look and look at the version that he has. I looked at the version, I looked at everything. And, it's just, I don't know what's happened to us. But, all this boils down to love. Because, I remember as a child, the only thing that I actually remember as a Sunday school, or Bible school person, like a child, is that you should treat other people the way that you want to be treated. But you know what's the worst thing now is that we don't even treat ourselves good anymore. Because all these gymnastics and all the things that we do and how we pray for the enemy, we're even treating ourselves bad. Because we're investing our time to pollute ourselves. So it's so easy that we're also hating people because we're not loving ourselves. We can't love ourselves by doing all this and praying that this will happen to generations to come. That generations to come is going to interact with your family, is going to interact with your children, and you already cursed them in advance. Your children will eat out of this. So please, let us just look at our Bible, listen to Dr. Sunday's teachings. I know.
You see that here, Paul didn't need to do any deliverance.
No.
He didn't need to. So people who are asking Toyin today, who are calling Toyin to say, you mean Pastor didn't do any deliverance session for you? Just say you should sit down. Because I did exactly what Paul did.
Yeah.
Paul only preached the good news to them. Because that is the power of God unto salvation. So Paul only opened their eyes to the truth because you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. Yes. Even though they were blood-drinking pagans, blood-drinking idol worshippers, just for them to know the goodness of God brought them to repentance.
Yes. I have come to so much conclusion months ago, but every day I realize that those conclusions in terms of going to all these activities where they're doing all these prayers, engaging in them, is that I am personally taking myself to be damaged. And the first thing that I need to do is just remove myself and immerse myself in the true teachings, and yes, the true atmosphere. And I'm just so grateful for that opportunity. But you can also do so. It doesn't have to be us alone or special people. When I was reading, listening to Toyin's testimony, that Judy was reading it out, and I was thinking, people are still sitting there believing that somebody has to do something.
By the way, while you are talking, I want to say people could begin to call in. We are opening the line now. The call Facebook Messenger. Go to Facebook Messenger and look for Move Agents. One word, Move Agents, and then you can begin to call in. We are expecting your call. Or instead of calling in, just write that you would like to share. Just write that you would like to call, and we'll give you so that you don't call when other person is talking. Yeah, please.
Yes. So I just want to say, I know it's going to take some time, but please just believe in God and just love. Give it a try. Don't doubt that God can do this for you or God is great. Today when we were doing this 5 p.m., 7 p.m. here in Ukraine program, I was wondering why, even when we look at the Bible, because I was reading some of the comments now, and somebody is still saying, suffer no which to live. And I was thinking, okay, on top of everything that is in the Bible, where God said, don't do this, Jesus said, don't do this, love your neighbor, love this, love it. You actually decide to take this suffer no which to live as something that you follow, rather than follow the other positive things and the love and everything in there. Why don't you go for the love one and, give that a try?
Why go to the Old Testament?
Yes.
That is already...
Yes, that is already done. It's already finished. I know that person is probably new onto the program, but this happens to all of us. It's a simple thing. Let's start looking at the positive, the loving kindness that God has delivered to us and has given us. Let's look at that. Even where we see that, do this with evil or do this, just leave that on the side. Why don't you just follow the love? Follow the way that Jesus walked when he was here on earth. Just follow everything that Jesus did and just leave the rest. Leave the rest, even if you don't understand it, just leave the rest and just follow the love. Follow the path of love. And don't condemn anybody. If they are in the journey, even if they're witches or whatever, like Dr. Sunday said, even if they're witches.
This is a whole country of witches and wizards.
Yes, I know. I've never even thought there was ever a country or something, anything like that.
Idol worshippers.
Yes.
This is a whole country of, what is the message of today? A whole country of idol worshippers, witches and wizards. And yet, nobody was calling fire. Yet, nobody was being killed. Yet, nobody was being, castigated, but being protected. Hello, who is this place? Oluwaseun.
Yes, hello, Pastor Sunday.
Where are you calling from?
I'm coming from United States.
All right. Okay, we are hearing your contribution for today.
Yeah, God bless you for your teaching today. I just want to add this. Human mind ordinarily is polluted unless we try and embrace the love of God. If you look at Jonah, when God told him to go and deliver a message, he eventually got there, but where he stayed, he was expecting to see fire. He was expecting to see the judgment of God upon them. And when he didn't see the judgment, he was so furious. And God had to tell him that, oh, those people had repented and had forgiven them. But he was disappointed. But what I want to add to is Paul. You know, the Paul we are reading about today that most of these people refer to, it shows the prayers that those Christians were praying was not a prayer of fall down and die, because what Paul experienced was the absolute love of God. And that was what brought him out of the darkness he was into the light that God showed him. It was love that God showed Paul, not judgment. If we look at what Paul was doing, by the standard of what we do today, in fact, he's supposed to have been killed and he should have died like a goat. But God saw the reason why he should be showed love, so that we can learn from it and so that we can forgive even our enemies, because Paul was the enemy of the Christians. God bless you, Pastor Sunday.
Thank you so much. Brilliant. Good contribution. Thank you. Yeah, please continue.
I was just reading that comment. So guys, it's just a plea really that we should just start from that love, from the premise of love rather than the premise of hate, and just believe God, believe the words of Jesus, believe the act of Jesus. Don't believe what anybody else has said to you. Don't believe all this gymnastics or you have to pray.
Because people have exalted the authority of the man of God and of their Jews and pastors more than the authority of the word of God.
Yes.
Or more than the authority of the Bible, and more than the authority of even Paul or Jesus.
Yes. And you know, I found it very, very difficult. I know I've said this so many times, to love God in the way that we practice. Even though I was going to church, but I just couldn't reconcile with God, because I find him, you know, if I'm practicing all this, what child of God does this, you know?
Hello, crying prophet.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Good evening, sir.
We are hearing you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for today's message. Yesterday I enjoyed also yesterday's message. I just want to contribute. It's something that I saw today, that Paul humbled himself.
Yes.
Yeah, and he put himself the same way. He put himself. He didn't like what many pastors used to do when they would come to this kind of situation. They would just, be bragging and putting themselves high, doing as if they are the one that have those powers, that they are performing the miracle or the healing. And another thing I wanted to contribute is that about the process. It is two patterns, because when in Africa now, when you are being attacked, pastors or whatever, they will just say you are possessed. They will not say that you are attacked. So just for them to do something for you so that they can gain something from you. And if you go to Africa, most of the street that you go to, you will see that deliverance something is a business. It's a business, So you will see their big board, they stand for on the street. They will write that from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. they have deliverance. You should come. Some of them will even write money. They are collecting. And there is one incident that went viral in Facebook in Benin. A woman that was a prophetess was doing a deliverance. He ties one boy. They tie him on the face, and they were doing deliverance, and the boy died. So this thing has been going on. It's not today. It has been going on for a long time. I think that what you said, I support you. When we have to set at least so that somebody to look into this abuse that they have been using. There is a strong abuse. So that is, I just want to
thank you.
And also I just want to thank you. And I just want to tell people, viewers that are listening, listening to you alone is a deliverance. I have said my story before. I said it before. I said, I'm this kind of person that I kill and die. That is what I used to pray. Kill and die. But when I started listening to your prayer series, yeah, I felt something left me. It was a total deliverance from that kill and die. So people should just go and listen. They don't even need to come to Ukraine to come and meet you. Let them start listening. Total deliverance will come to them. That is what I have to say.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Yes, it's true. If you have not downloaded all my messages, you can download them through YouTube, or you can download them through SoundCloud or Telegram. Yeah, please.
Yes, I was just saying that how can we really do love God and follow God if all these things are your problem and they're not the pastor's problem? How can you think that the same God created you, created the pastors, created the GOs, and then left you behind with all this witchcraft and everything, and you constantly have to do deliverance? You have to wonder yourself that do you really love God, or do are you a child or a son or daughter of God? So we should really evaluate that, because if I think about it, I shouldn't love people because they love me. But I'm saying that if we're really truly children in the house, if you think about it, if you feel that your parents love one person more than the other, you will resent that parent. So maybe truly, we shouldn't, maybe we resent God because our actions is not showing love.
Hello, who is it? Nicolene?
Yes, sir.
Where are you calling from, Nicolene?
I am calling from Cameroon.
Wow, nice to hear your voice. What do you want to contribute today?
Sir, I really don't have much to say, but I am very happy for the teachings and the messages. I have been following you, and everything that you're preaching against are what our pastors here in Cameroon are doing, because they are virtually copying what Nigerian pastors are doing.
Wow.
Yes. So it's not only in Nigeria that is happening, but even in neighboring countries. And I'm telling you, I have once been a victim of these pastors, and thank God for, I don't know how I even managed to get to your messages. I don't even know, but it happened that one day I was online and I just saw, I'm sure it was a caption that caught my attention. Then I started watching. From there, 7 p.m. here, I cannot give it up for anything. I have to say. Yes. I like, seriously. So I don't even have much to say, because if I want to start talking now, we might sleep here. So seriously, my testimony.
Do you know that you can download everything, both audio or video, and spread the message in Cameroon?
That's what I'm already doing. If you go on my timeline, you see I share all the messages. I have all your live videos on my timeline.
Very good. Thank you so much, Nicole.
God bless you, sir.
God bless
Please
you.
just keep on with the good work.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I just want to say, based on what Nicole just said now as well, that we should remember that we can listen to all these things free of charge. There's no charge to it. You can listen on YouTube, but if you are somebody that have data challenge, like I say, you can also go on SoundCloud or Telegram. So they are available for you, because Telegram is much easier to download and not much data is needed to do that.
SoundCloud too.
And SoundCloud as well. And also, if you're in Nigeria, there are people that would give you free access to download all Dr. Sunday's teachings. And I know right now that they're also giving free CDs with the teachings on there at the moment. So you can always get it. It's available to you. You don't have to pay anything to get them. So there's no reason why we can't help other people, because there are number of us right now watching, but there are many other people that are in the dark. There are much more people that are sitting in the churches right now. They're going after one video to another, one activity in church to the other, because they just want to be set free, because they've been told and they believe that demon is possessing them. They have household enemies. They have this, they have that. They just invented different names and different character of demons that we don't even, it doesn't even exist. Look at that illustration. A old town that is full of demons. One person went there and showed them love and did the right thing. Why is it that even if demons, they didn't read that. They read they suffer no witch to leave, but they didn't read that part in Paul. This is some of the reasons why I find it difficult, that how can these people not read it, to see that this is what Paul did. They talk about Paul a lot. So a lot of these pastors, but they didn't read that part. They just left that out. And then they did what they want to do. So now, I don't want to really keep going on about pastors and what they did and what they didn't do. Now we've come to the knowledge, we've come to freedom. Let's free other people, not just us. Because we're still going to interact with these people. And even if you're the only one that is free in your house, then nobody is free. We all need to be free, not just you. Everybody needs to be free. And one of the ways also to show other people is to show them by examples, not just speak. Because a lot of the time they've been spoken to so much on different angles that they don't know the truth anymore. So what we need to do is act it. If we don't act it, show with action. Your freedom, your happiness, your joy, the love that you show other people, the way you embrace people, they even apologizing to some people that you also have condemned, showing those things, doing those activities regularly, and people seeing that, family members seeing that and seeing the changes in your life, they will follow you. They will follow you because they want to know your God, not this God that you're going around and they're all going as well. Maybe they have already followed you to the God that is killing and pointing and killing. But now, when they see your actions, you would also show them to God that is loving and is happy. That even when something negative happens to you, you're still happy. You're still thinking, okay, God, you want to show me something. That's why this is happening. It's not because of any witches or any devil. Even if they're witches or devil, you are superior to them, and I trust you. So help other people out. Don't just leave it. Julie wants to say something, so I'll just get up for her.
Yes, I want to add to what Maiwa just said, because how important it is that we share those messages. I was just thinking about that comment that I received again about, the fact that we should avoid going to a marriage of a homosexual couple or something. Think about it. What if this is the only time that you will have the opportunity to minister love to these people? Think about that for a second, and that's why I love what Maiwa said, that
Jesus
we should not
went
call
to the wedding of unbelievers.
Yeah, even Jesus did it. So why would we not do
and
it?
He sat with the money changers.
And he sat with the prostitutes. He sat with all these people, and we're saying, "Oh, let's not go to a wedding of a homosexual couple." We should think about these things. Think about these things very, very deeply. And I also understand that it is not easy because, we are used to condemning. It's just a fact. We're used to condemning anything that is not like Christ, as if we are Christ-like, We are not by actually condemning. So I understand that this is also very, very, very difficult to get there. And, we look at Dr. Sunday thinking, oh, is he even real and all of that? But that's why he has created, this YouTube channel for us to go and listen, because it is on every one of us. Every one of us has to be able to depict Christ in this world. Every single one of us. And that's why I want to appeal to everyone to help us share these messages. And we have been, we've gotten a lot of help from many people to share those messages. There are different WhatsApp groups and different Telegram groups and all these things. And we've also recently started to resize some of Dr. Sunday's messages for WhatsApp specifically. So what we've done is we've created a WhatsApp group.
Is the link
available? No, there's no link available because it's not very effective with the WhatsApp group. So what we're going to do is we're going to use WhatsApp broadcasting lists. And the thing with broadcasting lists is that...
Well, you could create a group in Telegram.
Yes, we could create a group in Telegram. However, we already have one where most of these messages are, but because they're a little bit resized, we can also create another one. Yes, another team, another group there, another channel. But with broadcasting lists, it is very good because you are going to be sending the message to a number of people at the same time without creating a group. So you won't have the hassle of, communicating with a bunch of people all the time. Yes, so what we're going to do is we're going to create that list, but we have to do it in a systematic way because we can't add everyone to that list. If we do that, we will have to resend the messages over and over again. So we have to have specific people to add into that group, and these people have to commit to share, to continue sharing those messages. So those people who are going to be in those broadcasting lists have to also create their own list to continue sharing those messages. So
Maybe they should write now, or what? Or WhatsApp?
yes, for WhatsApp. But I will create a post in the groups in DSA Live, Dr. Sunday Live, and also in the Movement Against Deception in the Church and the Smart Groups, where people can then write down
Facebook
their, on
chat.
Facebook, and the Facebook chat, where people can
DSA
write
chat.
down, DSA Family Chat on Facebook, where people can write down their phone numbers. They can send them directly to me.
What about right now? You never, that's a bad strategy. You never tell people to do something, to expect something tomorrow or sometime next year. It has to be now.
Okay.
People are available now. People are listening to you now. People
Yeah.
are hearing you now.
Yes.
Once this is over, they have forgotten it.
Okay. If you guys, just like Dr. Sunday said, let's do it now. If you want, if you can write down your
If you
phone
want
number.
if you commit to share, what's the condition?
Yes, the condition is that you have to commit to share those messages, and you do that by creating
on
WhatsApp. Yes, and you do that by creating WhatsApp broadcasting
Whatever they
lists.
will do, you will do that. Just the condition. They must commit to sharing.
Yes, you must
if you are
commit to
committed
share.
to sharing, put your
Okay, yes. So if you're committed to sharing the messages that we will send out, please put down your phone number in the comment section right now, and we will collect them and add you to the list. So if you're committed, only if you're truly committed to spread those
every
messages.
day. You have to be spreading.
Every day you have to spread them, and we will add you to the broadcasting list. Okay?
So
Thank
write
you
down
very
your
much.
telephone-
So your
your WhatsApp
telephone number with country code, we will add you to the list, and you have to commit to spread the messages on a daily basis. Okay? We will send them in batches, the messages, because they have to be resized. So we will send you series by series. And the good thing is that we have started with the prayer series. And this really is the series that I recommend all of you to start with if you haven't started with it, because I believe this is going to be helping you to understand God's heart better and to also become like God better. I mean, this is, for me, this has been the series that has helped me to understand God and to understand, what it means to be like God, what it means to be Christ-like, what it means to understand his heart and to be close to him, to listen to him. If you are someone who's listening to Dr. Sunday and who's saying, I want to love like you, Lord, I want to love like Dr. Sunday, I want to see people the way God sees them, you should start with the prayer series. I really, really urge you to start with the prayer series. I feel like there's no other, maybe the faith series and also maybe the love series about, you cannot love God without loving people. But to me personally, I have connected most to the prayer series when it comes to understanding God's mind, understanding God's heart for people and for myself. So we will start with that series. Please put down your phone number plus country code. Don't forget the country code, please. And we will add you to the broadcasting list, and you have to commit to share the messages, okay? Thank you so much. On a daily basis, yes. Thank you, everyone.
If you're not committed to share, don't put your
Yes.
phone.
Please, only if you're committed to share the messages. This is so important. Every one of us sees how important it is for us.
Don't share.
Yes, to share these messages. So if you're not committed, if you know you won't have the time, the capacity, please don't put down your phone number. Thank you so much.
What's the maximum number you could have for people?
I think it's 250 per list. So we can create several ones. That doesn't matter. So I can create several lists, and we will have more than enough space for everyone. So put down your phone number if you feel like you can commit. If you can commit, and we will add you to the list.
So you find a way to explain to them how to do what to do.
Yes. All the instructions will be sent to you as soon as you're on the list. And we're planning to start with everything from tomorrow on, latest from Saturday. So you can expect a message from us. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. So if anybody still wants to call, the way to call is to go to Facebook Messenger, and look for Move Agents. And when you get to Move Agents, you'll be able to in Move Agents, you'll be able to write. Just write to us in Move Agents that you would like to call. You would like to call Move Agents. Move Agents, and you would like to call. Somebody said my husband's number is with you there. Nobody knows your husband's number. You have to put the number if you want them to call your husband. Lola Shorunke said, I commit to WhatsApp broadcast. But then you have to put your number down, Lola Shorunke. They need your telephone number. Even though they have it, but they still need to have it. Just write it in case. And somebody is asking, is it possible to get a phone number from Germany? Yes, any country, just WhatsApp number, any phone number. You must be on WhatsApp. Hello, Uwe.
Hello, Pastor.
Yes.
Good evening, sir.
How are you today?
I'm very fine, sir. Thank you very much. How are you, sir?
Well, I'm trying my best.
Yes, we are trying. You know, as we share the messages here, some people, they resent us, you know. You know, like someone said, when you are deceived, when you told the truth, you don't feel it. It doesn't prick you. So we just pray that God, the same God who opened our eyes and our hearts, will also open the eyes of others from deception and apostasy.
Yes.
I want to, just before I contribute to today's message, I remember reading about you in the mid-90s, and thank God today that God is still using you for someone like me who a number of times have stumbled, even when those things that I really never believed, I've stumbled. I remember I would travel to UK to go and pray this kind of prayer of die by fire and all these kinds of things. Well, we thank God. Yes, concerning today's message, it's a very important one. There's a man, he goes around preaching. He's a Danish guy. He goes around preaching to people in different parts of the world. And sometimes he wants to conduct baptism. It's like someone just manifests. And you just see the guy say, get out or something. And it doesn't take more than 30 seconds or so. And you will see the man hugging the people, like hugging them, showing them love, not making them to jump or dehumanize them. And even I believe that even after making these records, it takes permission from these people to say, can I put it on video? And because this is how it's done in this part. I mean, it won't even happen in Sweden. So what am I trying to say here is that love, we have to show love to people. We have to show empathy, because we ourselves, we were once enemies of God. But it's love and compassion has won us to him. That's how he won us to himself. And even my experience here is among the Caucasians, even when I go to the fellowship, there's this kind of love they really show. And sometimes I feel like, oh Lord, I want to love. And I think that should be the prayer of everyone, because even the Bible says, even if I have the faith that move mountains, that can tell all mysteries, etc., if I have love, I'm nothing. So I think that's what we should work trouble about. Then, Pastor, if you just permit me one more time, there's this daily devotion I get, and I don't know if it's by coincidence, but I've seen the change in messages, in the messages for almost 2 weeks now. But I would like pastors to just come out with the honest truth and tell their members that we've been wrong all this while, or try to make their members understand that what Sunday Adelaja is saying is the truth. Not trying to go behind to copy his messages or to admire his messages, and why the members come here to drop some negative comments, not knowing that even their daddy Geos and all the likes have already surrendered. So that's maybe it's a coincidence, I don't know, but that's my contribution. Thank you very much, sir.
He's seeing changes in people's messages, the daily devotions. The tone is changing. Thank God, thank God. It's good for people's messages to change. Well, you know, we are listening to you. If anybody who still wants to call, we'll be happy to receive your call. Yeah, they might attack me. As long as it's media attacking, let them not attack the truth. Let the truth be preached, and let love prevail. Let the true gospel of Jesus Christ be returned. I mean, it's amazing that, you know, in a whole city of demon-possessed people, that, you know, only, you know, no need for deliverance, no need for casting out of demons. Only the truth, only gospel, only the truth, the power of the gospel set everybody free. And I mean, I think you people should go and listen to this message again, and the way Paul approached the situation, the way Paul was showing and manifesting love, and the way Paul was, you know, the words of Paul. You will see that, you know, it's totally different from the gospel that our pastors are preaching today. What they are preaching today is paganistic gospel. All right, I see nobody is calling. So if there are no more calls, then tomorrow we will continue tomorrow with the message, and tomorrow I'll be continuing to tell to you on how to deal with demon possessed. But I think tomorrow I'm going to talk about okay, but it's still going to be in that sense, what to do with when people are demon possessed. So we're still going to continue. We are still going to continue with that, and yeah, I think God will help us to get the message tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be talking about what to do if Satan is speaking through people. What to do, or how to deal with Satan speaking through somebody. How to deal with the situation when demons are speaking through, or what do they call it? Is it Satan's demons? Demons speaking through people. So how do you deal with the situation when demons or spirits, evil spirits, are talking through somebody? That will be tomorrow. So what do we do? How do you deal with a situation when evil spirit, demons, are speaking through people? So someone is not just demon possessed, but it's so demon possessed that the demon is speaking through the person. Somebody is saying what time? The same time as usual now. Maybe the person is here for the first time, but the time we come out is 5 p.m. British time and 7 p.m. British time. This one, evening one, is British time, 7 p.m. British time. 7 p.m. British time or 8 p.m. Central European time. 7 p.m. UK time or 8 p.m. European time. Nigerian time is 7 p.m. as well. And in America, I think it is 2 p.m. Eastern time in America. 2 p.m. Eastern time. So thank you so much for your time. I'll be back tomorrow. Thank you so much, and God bless. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.